Welcome everyone to more live open source development. Today continuing with our T2 release series, and I hope you're all doing fine and are safe and stuff. So testing, we want to do multiple things. We could shortly start with a tiny little update, as we usually do while people tune in. Of, for example, Rust. There's a new Rust version. Maybe I make a dedicated live stream here, talking about the 10 minutes later. So let's update Rust. See, that's, why does this not auto, what? Interesting. I thought this was in the news. Did we already? What is the latest Rust version? Yeah, isn't it nice opening this stuff? And I thought there was something. All right, why? Do we not have? Maybe okay. I've run this manually. Maybe I should change that update. No, this does also not. What? Why does this not compute? Interesting. We check this. Okay, so this somehow doesn't both not work. That is of course not ideal. I don't want to download something directly. What the heck? Oh, I love modern download stuff. So looks like this certainly explains why data does not update that in the night. Where is here? But that doesn't. Okay. Here's something though. But where is the source here? And why does this not auto update compute? I really hate when stuff doesn't work. This is, Why does this not? Is this dynamically loaded? Sometimes this is dynamically loaded. Okay, not the most important stuff to analyze now. There is a new version that supports inline assembly. And there also is a new GIMP version, and then we continue with our release series. So T2, of course, built mostly, probably fully. Also, there was one tiny little thing, which is Libtiff of Rick. The only constant is change here, and war. Libtiff regression. Let's probably tackle that quickly. Also, yeah, quickly, and then 15 minutes later. This was some really strange thing there. I wonder if this is what? Don't tell me I have a new TF8 look here. Actually, we didn't update that for a while, so that probably must be, I guess, glibc regression, because that is what we recently updated. I mean, not that there would be too much innovation going on in Libtiff, but it would also be nice if they sometimes update that. Cool, isn't? Yeah. Okay, why do we not get this from libtiff.org? 361. Okay, this was 406. Maybe that explains this thing. Yeah, open source continues to. Yes, also Libtiff Center Systems.org. What the heck? 4.3. Okay, here's something. Did they fork that or what? So we have 4.3.0 there. Yeah, that is actually significantly newer though, if that is still, the question is this a continuation or is it some, oh wait a second, we probably also want to update yeah, but open source stuff is moving. Also, yeah, Libtiff, like as old as Sam Leveler from SGI. Okay, that didn't download. Master site, GitLab, Libtiff. Where is it going? Can I also have a download? Why do I mean recurring theme? My sites are not the most amazing, but why is it so difficult to find the freaking source download? Oh, here, finally. It says just TIFF, does it? Okay, this matches that, but yeah, somehow the state of, I don't know. It's also funny, I mean, if I would have been at SGI, I don't know, I think, I mean, given that I keep all my source stuff around in life and stuff, I think if I would have been, especially at SGI stuff, I think I would, like, keep maintaining that. I mean, it's not that much work to, I mean, certainly I, with my little company, maintain more than this tiny little thing here. But at least the recurring win-win here. CV flags off. At least randomly updating stuff. Because what I also updated for this video yesterday or so already is expect some software. Oh, thank you very. Why is there across this not built so far? What the heck is that? All the rest of the build though. What is it now? Expect for testing software and automating that. Why did this not cross-build? Did I not build x86? That is a little bit. Oh, wait a second. Why is this ID there? Why is this 21 SVN? Oh, darn! I think I built this somehow wrong. Ah, that's also the wrong trunk. That is why. Ah, okay. Fail. Recurring theme here. There's fully. What? Mark resolved. Whatever. Whatever. So much to doing that in the wrong tree. Also, there is some white space. Yeah, so that is extremely old-fashioned Rock Linux style. I know that some people did that at Rock Linux times 20 years ago, of maybe using some Emacs or VI mode. I have to say, I'm totally not a fan of that, to be honest. Of like, so what they did is this is like justified ASCII text, and it's like, yeah, for what? It's like SCD in place substitute multiple spaces to 1. I think that should work like that. It sure looks like that. The reason is, theoretically, for installer and listings and stuff, you don't want surplus, superfluous white space, in my opinion. Anyway, and yeah, just wastes. Also, if you edit this text, I mean, and yeah, updating this, and people rarely use it anyway. So yeah, that fixes that build. Apparently, I only wonder now. All right, this is because I had here, yeah, the tmark started there. Okay, fine. So yeah, that was a build error here of define host file or whatever stuff. Like, let's see if that fixes it. Should have got more tap water though. for the live stream. So Rust, so theoretically, of course, yeah, okay, that fixes that, still cross builds, testing, it's most testing. So RM, so how long? Probably 10, yeah, of course, 10 minutes of updates. But yeah, win-win of the other day I did something similar, not as moved. It's still on SourceForge, well, also still of the last update of Expect, 4 years old or so, but did this similar major update of Expect and now Libtiff. Although due to API changes could also break something, because obviously the only constant is regressions here. Rust C and Cargo and Firefox. While at it, we probably want to check Cargo. Nah. Usually they update Cargo as well, so it's probably 0.59 most likely Cargo. Yeah, of course it does. Or even something more. Yeah, releases, why should there be releases? Oh, 60, there's even 60 already. Let's do 60 immediately. Because why should that be in Zinc in any way, shape or form? So I think we deleted those log files, so we can simply rebuild that while we work on testing. So testing, I said this in a previous video, we started with this stuff already. I want to automate more testing because nothing is worse than spending months of building the best Linux distribution in your life on this channel and then releasing broken stuff. And of course we want to cross-test this with QEMU. So for that there is, yeah, leave in the comments below what do you recommend? For that, Expect. I was thinking Expect maybe. Also, the only thing is it's using TickleTick, or leave in the comments below how do you pronounce TCLTK. I think so. Yeah, GIF, right? I personally, because I'm not native English speaker and Silicon Valley and stuff, I always, like 20 years ago, I always said TCLTK until people teach me it's TickleTick, obviously. So yeah, what is it? Obviously, right? Also, I personally find TCLTK better and stuff. But anyway, I wonder if this license is Expect. And also, is this that or yeah, TCLTK, you have it there. So what this allows for is like attaching to a process or different kind of things and waiting for matching and sending output, because what we actually want to do is ideally I would want to install the whole ISO, like build here the ISO, like I don't know, although I think that actually should still work because the thing is we now started the build, but let's x86-64. That hopefully should still work. Not that I mean, worst case we miss Rust and Cargo. QEMU system, x86. And so one thing is testing the whole boot, and some things we can't test. We can't easily test PS3, obviously. We can test boot PowerPC64, but not with a special self flavor. It's still some testing, but I mean, we can't test everything, right? Unless you share, like, and subscribe, and Patreon, and GitHub, and YouTube membership and stuff. And also theoretically, like maybe with our new PS3 tool, maybe we can remote power that and remote emulate a Blu-ray disc. Maybe that could allow us to not QEMU, but real fully automated PS3 testing. Probably want to really donate for that. If the DECR even works, because I didn't unpack it yet, because I'm not with it for obvious reasons. But yeah, we could even automate the stuff with real hardware, with serial ports, with network, advanced lights out management things. But the easiest thing is of course QEMU, which we can already test most stuff. For example, our install scripts that are of course mostly identical between the architectures except grub and kboot. Petit boot booting. So CD-ROM, this ISO, no graphic so good. Enable. And so the only thing is maybe what I actually really, yeah, if you are a grub and stuff ninja, it would be amazing to know if it is possible to determine whether that is a serial console. Maybe you can't really. Not sure how you could potentially detect that. Anyway, because yeah, that would. Or we hack the Linux kernel, because what is annoying right now for other platforms, we have auto serial console detection, just not for that here. Console equals TTY S0. Yeah, that's actually a challenge. Okay, so far so good. We have, because obviously I didn't test this for some months, so far so good that at least still works. So the only other thing is fully automating the installation. That is a little bit more difficult here. Oops. I wonder if this, maybe this is enough. Or is it? Because that might be a little bit difficult to script actually. Because what we theoretically would need to script is partitioning here. That is, of course, I mean, yeah, you see, you have this idea of, okay, let's fully automate this stuff, but yeah, details it, obviously, some issues. Yeah, so there are some things to that is not so easy. I mean, worst case, we could rewrite our installer, which I'm not personally super satisfied and the biggest fan of to start with, to make it more scriptable. I don't even find it visually the most pleasing, and maybe we could theoretically rewrite this, restructure this a little bit for better testing. Another thing, so we can test on multiple fronts, and the other thing is, I said it before, we could run the test suite of all the new build packages. That certainly is way too much. We don't want to, I mean, and that also, the irony is, as far as I've seen with glibc and things, the test suites often have expected fails, like maybe all tests pass for x86, but fail for PowerPC, like at least like maybe 1% or something. Especially GCC, and the more complex the packages, the more stuff fails. And theoretically, we could, at our own, like simple test. We don't need to test everything, because there's a limit of how much we can test. I think the most important is actually test booting the stuff, especially PowerPC and Hewlett-Packard HPPA and MIPS and stuff. Because they are the most difficult to test on real hardware. But otherwise, if we wanted to test some stuff, because there once, for example, I said that before, there was a major regression in find utils, although that was already 15 years ago. So we could add, if we wanted to, we could add our own tests. Like obviously not replicating the whole test suite, because this is too much. But like one simple, or either one simple or something important per package. So we could simulate to our description, and like we have here, profiling. So we obviously have description for the metadata, conf if there is code. I mean, theoretically, maybe nowadays, maybe code would be like, but yeah, we don't want to continue with the only change is change, and the only constant is change. So obviously, also maybe like code or so would be. I mean, I think conf is still quite matching, and I think there is no value in randomly renaming stuff. We have the cache dependencies. We have to be more automatically generated profiling data. And we could add here tests, right? Either like find utils test or expect directly, or just test. Maybe test Maybe test would be the best, because then keeping here the 4CC extension, not that it would be the most important. Then also if we call it expect, or we could like shorten that. Yeah, it doesn't probably test. If we name this test, we wouldn't limit ourselves as much to expect if we in the future would want to use other tests. By the way, if you did anything like this, if you were QA test expert, leave in the comments below what do you use, what can you recommend. Is there something actually we could quickly Google if there's something modern expect replacement. Here is UnixCon. Yeah, here is it still 2018? My question, is it still popular? Basically, leave in the comments below. Every time I go to use expect, I end up punching something. That's not healthy, man. Okay, there is Ansible. Still popular to test robustness, stability, every single flavor of Unix and Linux. Yeah, leave in the comments below. Test big problem. Therefore, multi-threading, global variables internally is explicit. Yeah. Anyway, leave in the comments below. There's always room for improvements. Obviously, okay, Rust is still building. So far, so good. So testing this stuff. We could quickly test that. I found someone blogged about this already. Maybe that one. Maybe that one. So, of course, serial is standard IO, and we started that already. Targets internal. What did I had here? Or how did I call it? I think I called it build ship. Oh, hello. I called it just okay. Ship it. And we had here already in our global build everything, although I think I don't like the ship it name the most. Sometimes it's just a gut feeling of that the name is not perfect. I think I rename this to build all again. We had here already a QEMU per architecture, and actually so I just deleted all of them. That was of course only partially clever. Let's warm up the office with that. Do we have risk 5 QEMU risk? QEMU risk 5. We have that. Amazing stuff. Because otherwise, so to test all of this, we of course need QEMU and so x86. Of course, for that we wouldn't really need QEMU, but the other tests I wiped yesterday. So QEMU, x86 and stuff. We need -l process working directory bin ls. So and what? Yeah. So that is the crux. We need. I mean, actually, for the simple test, we actually don't really need expect, to be honest. The simple scripts, we could actually define tests of like ls and then like dproc dev this temp or so, and compare the output. So actually for that we wouldn't really need, I think, expect, because the problem is, as you have seen, the challenge is of matching this output. And did I probably not? Let's build that here, because in the other I have some QEMU. Yeah, so we have this actually automated. Why do they run? Oh, okay, maybe they still have the graphical user interface here. Maybe. So the problem is that we have so much output, but so the other thing is we probably... Yeah, I mean, here we could wait for the timeout. The only problem is we don't have output. So the irony is testing other architectures is simpler than x86 because they have a serial console detection. there any, I think I googled it already, grep to detect console. I mean, we could, is it easier? I mean, we could maybe test EFI, which is anyway more important. Apparently there is, maybe with EFI you have it easier to detect console type. Do I have EFI stuff lying around here? Maybe not. Did I even test this? Yeah, let's top off the tap water and back in a second. Each time I'm looking for that though. Yeah, maybe a Google shop. So the crazy thing is there are two ways to specify that. One is this BIOS at times works. So stuff, no graphics, BIOS, I think that at times no. Oh, this is probably. Yeah, this is no. I slightly wonder, is this. Some of this BIOS thing doesn't work as I expected. Wait a second, or is it too. What? This was somehow pflash something. So this BIOS should work though, maybe with code. Could load BIOS, okay, then not. Also this FD thing, I thought should have worked back in the day. Strange. Is this slightly wondering, or is it even magically working? Fail to boot. Wait a second. Does this look like? Oh no, this actually looks like maybe it is even working. Stuff to good just freaking works. So do we have serial console indicator here? Platform EFI here. So far so good. At least something works. Yes, stuff you already expect. The only constant is regressions, and you didn't even expect that it works. So I once checked the details, whatever. There's also pflash, whatever, and then you load the code and data separately. All this, maybe not recommended, but usually it works for me. So the only thing is, so you still don't see. Do you feature fallback debug video, or is that maybe this debug video is our thing? So I also don't see here on the first, also wait, So didn't really help us much. Where was it here? Terminal. Ah, here is okay, terminal input. What does that say? Console, available serial AT keyboard. And what does happen with that? Alternative. Active input console available serial AT. I would need to check that with nothing like some boot manager. Wait a second, we want theoretically though, does that it only says console, so that doesn't help us the most. Yep, that is of course not ideal. Anyway, so, I mean, we could automate this. I mean, given that we boot from that, we could automate E and then arrow navigation and adding console equals TTY is 0 actually. And then control X, although, yeah. And actually we would so yeah, as you see, actually quite some things already to consider. So timeout is hopefully in seconds. That would be this whole, of course, we would need to I mean, let's maybe wait enough forever. I mean, you would hope that this is like seconds, right? And so the question is, how does that match here? And by the way, can we probably not? No, we can't type escape key. So yeah, if we would automate, all right, yeah, you see, everything's easy. So even, I mean, but this is also often the thing, right? Getting started with this stuff takes the most time. And then once you are somewhat settled and comfortable, if stuff starts to work, then that is certainly much easier to continue with this stuff. But yeah, getting started, learning curve, obviously, right? Not the new things. That's basically learning curve. we would need to Google, I don't know how to, I mean, aka reading's a freaking manual. Okay, Rust and Cargo build. New versions of the stuff there. It's already fully bootstrapped as long as we live stream, obviously. Yeah, as professionals, we could wait until Firefox builds, because sometimes that fails, obviously. I wonder. Okay, is that even does something? Test expect. Let's. What does happen? Spawn couldn't execute. Oh, also a. Okay, we have that apparently standard out. Here that should, does it not have, why does it not have a, why does it not have a counter? So we could, for example, let's see if it works matching for that and then sending some. Let's see, expect that. And then let's send a enter and let's see if it works. And then, this in this, okay. So apparently it kills it instantly. Then let's wait for the next expect for TTYS0 and let's see what happens. Although okay, let's wait for login. Also, we will not get this login. Oops, yeah, it doesn't matter. So yeah, the other probably because this test expect script. And okay, we don't have output. Okay. Okay, we make some progress. So what we would need here is send. You would hope that it works like this. Let's send that. Maybe this. Do we have NVI? Let's. Okay, this also doesn't. What I would need is some editor that is so low level and stupid. Okay, this also we would need. We would need to script arrow keys, arrow escape keys. So edit. Down, 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 and one back. This is VT100 something. How do we call this? Arrow? Escapes? Is it arrow or left? So the problem is reset and problem is to type that. So that would be escape. Is it a 0? Escape 0D. Although maybe we could. What would be a good way to? Can we like cut to some file? What was the syntax that? Okay, that does not, that still has how to best capture that? Maybe and at least we could check those. So that is actually this says escape. Why does it say then? Oh no, it is A. So up is A. So that is correct. I only wonder. Maybe we can actually type that, what was it, escape. Why does this look so strange here? Keypad number alternative. Which editor is there? Is there like add? Can we add like? So what do we want? We want E and then arrow up, so that would be vim type escape codes. Escape a special character. Dash eyes, what is expect? Expect is a good old-fashioned TCL/TK or tickle trick, at least implemented in TCL/TK tickle trick tool to automate some stuff like tests or other like driving, like test driver, or you can use it for a variety of stuff. So that because we want to wait basically a domain-specific language. And we want, I right now want to automate this because I said this before, my ideal goal would be, I mean, either have a epic thread ripping Ryzen rebuild ISOs every week or so without any human interaction, or at least if we manually trigger it once a month or something to automatically test the stuff. And so my goal would be to fully automatically test the installation. So we boot the ISO, you can script other stuff also, but right now we try to script QEMU to fully automate our installation. So, and what we need to do, we can't just like send all the input in one go, right? The stuff is running asynchronously. So we need to match on certain, for example, one way to implement it is match for certain expected output, like GNU grub and stuff, and then send to the virtual machine, for example, keycode. So send ESUS edit. I want escape slash, I don't want escape, is it that one? And entering escape sequences and Unix VI type insert mode press and hold control key and then tapping the V key once and release control, which do both on press the escape key or control V. Ah, cool. Okay, that at least did indeed do something. Okay, we need so insert control V. What? Was it not control E? Control V, or is it capital V? It worked a second ago. Why not? Or did I? Oops. Control V. Ah, that worked. Ah, okay, so that it does it only once though. Okay, save this already. So we need, what do we need? I think it was 3 times arrow up and then arrow back and then console tty0 and boot that, right? Let's test it. Basically, I said this before, I should have done this 15 years ago, but at least now we can do it live on YouTube. TFI, script, okay, TU actually, that's a good idea. Maybe that would work. Thanks for that tip. Hey, okay, it did something. Oh, wait a second, it didn't. What happens here? So yeah, now the only thing is debugging this, right? Okay, somehow. Did I send an E? I mean, the thing could potentially be, so edit, console tty, enter. So edit, oh wait a second, we need arrow down. What did I, okay, and that certainly explains the thing. So, So we need down, 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 left. Let's see if that works better. Also best without. Somehow this is not. Okay, no, testing is not convenient, I have to say. What even? All right. So this, of course, now really hard to see what's going on. Maybe if we. So this stuff has comments. So maybe if we make it slower without KVN, maybe it's better to see what's happening. So it does comments, but not at the middle of the line, or what? Somehow edit down, 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 right? Can it be that this is too fast? Maybe if we somehow sense this separately. But as I said, this is of course the most annoying. Once you figured out some basics, and this is of course a very special thing, this escape sequence here. Doesn't make it much better. Dash ask timing. Yeah, I also maybe timing an issue. I hope I said this. Why? Because I don't use many modern. So for our own stuff, I don't have this asynchronous stuff. For our own stuff, I use extremely simple running, either the tool, the program, or some test driver, and then with some arguments, with some input. So I have a very simple shell script here, and then diffing the for each test, having an expected output and diffing that, and yeah, like a macro. Yeah, we could. Can we somehow with T? I mean the thing. I mean it could. I mean we could strace that and see what it exactly is doing. It's a little bit difficult to see with and E, right? What other testing tool? Create a basic OS with... Yes, we will do this. Thank you for your recommendation. Yeah, world is ending. Yeah, it's yesterday's video. I mean, it could be that these escape codes here are wrong. Maybe, I mean, maybe it's sending the escape keys. This could be actually a thing, potentially. I mean, we could theoretically fully script that, but then we would need to hardcode the version. Plus, it wouldn't be totally portable for all the other variants. we should rather do it like that. How do you send control characters or function keys? Alternatively provides a way to octal or hexoctal encoding less error prone using octal of between what you want. Maybe we should do this here. I mean, maybe we should, you know what, well, I think next week there will be still an Earth, even if we have some nuclear explosions, probably even a handful of humans are still alive. I will not do it tomorrow, but you probably want to share, like, and subscribe. This will be longer term thing. Let's see. So maybe let's see how far we get if we do that here. Oh, wait a second. Escape 33. Do we? Let's see what happens with that. Let's do here one step at a time. Hey, that works. I think that worked. Oh, wait, does it? I only wonder why does it end here if we wait for login, or is it? This is a little bit strange. But anyway, okay, so this worked. So down. What was the other left? Was it D? D. Left is D. D and then that, and let's see if that. Okay, there is apparently some timing issue, as you see. It only took over. Are we still in there, or it only took over console, I think. And then the rest was the timeouts. Okay, so we have still a timing issue. That is, of course, not ideal, but it starts to work. Whether we use it, I mean, this is just some experimenting this stuff together. Whether we use it like that, maybe some modern tool. Okay, this is still a timing issue. That is, of course, annoying. Can we, I mean, I wonder why though. Here you can type as fast as you want. That is, of course, not ideal if there is some timing issue in some way. I mean, this is, of course, not practical. Not even sure if... Oh, sorry. No, this still, even if we separate this in... what? That reminds them to upload a custom WordPress plugin and utilizing SU to re-enable. What? I have no idea what you're trying to do. So expect QEMU. I mean, the one thing is, do we have some sleep? Yes, some sleep something. Sleep, okay, sleep looks, okay, this is seconds. Let's, for a test, try to understand whether I mean, yeah, then I, if it already starts like that, what? There's an N missing. I mean, it does something, just not... Improves it a tiny little bit, but... I mean, this is just understanding what's going on here. Somehow, why does sending this enter, or do they want carriage return? I slightly wonder why this stalled the whole... Okay, this also doesn't make it what I would expect boot output. Yeah, so much to simply script it. I mean, maybe we run it, not, they have here some FIFO and stuff. Also here they have serial standard IO. I think this is a default with no graphics, so that should work though. So yeah, so far so good. First try is already quite a bit of a fail. Console. There is at least an N missing. But the sleep stuff, yeah, somehow, for me this also doesn't look the most promising that the sleep somehow stalled the whole execution here of QEMU. Apparently that is of course impractical. Is it, we need Control X, yes, you're so right, alright, that explains this thing, thank you very much. This is why we do this stuff together, and this is an amazing community. Yes, you're right, I expected this to boot, but of course it isn't. We need Control X, so I wonder though, can we... Does that work at least, that we don't have so much small scripts here? What is send as console TTY? So, I mean, maybe this initial stuff, maybe... so now we only need... Is it Control X? Wait a second. Alright, this doesn't work because we... Control X or F10, right? Is it F10? Okay, that works. Also maybe Control X is Control X more. I mean, maybe we can get away with quite some stuff here, like this here. Maybe this is slow, and if we sleep one here and sleep one here, maybe we can get rid of most other stuff there. Does that work? Oh wait, maybe I didn't run this correctly. Hello? Yeah, I mean, this is a little bit silly that this thing's console to do a haze. So at least we minimize the broken script stuff. That is, of course, already better. And then, what does, what did we there? Or what? What are you freaking kidding me? No, I don't want strange side. Oops, I wanted man page. Does, okay, sleep it on. So you're saying send as, oops, there it was, I just jumped over it. Send nah. Yeah, but you say sounds better. Send what? S, send slowly? Oh, really? Cool stuff. S-flag sends slowly, avoid common situation where computer outputs input buffer, human, something. For example, following command emulates a fast consistent typist. Okay, that sounds. I mean, then we probably, let's see if that still works, of that, and then I mean, maybe even the edit here and slowly here, and then we wanted Control X. Does it look like Control X? Wait a second. Maybe we cut test. Does that work? No, it doesn't, because okay, let's see what happens. Send something. What? While execution send slow has no value? What? Apparently you need to define that, huh? That send slow. What force? Apparently I need to indeed send that, huh? Slowly. Example, that send humans, send age. What? Slowly, something, controlled variable send slow, which takes that send slow, what force, okay. Okay, that did not yet have the desired effect. So that doesn't work the most anymore. I mean, maybe we significantly, what was that? Oh, that works. Perfect. Yeah, and so as you see, there's a lot of output. I'm seriously just drafting here live on this channel, right? Probably long enough already. I mean, that is the idea. We obviously need much more. And here would be, maybe we match that and then send and enter. Let's see, we expect actually, oops. Yeah, how do we script that? I mean, this doesn't even solve all of that. Expect that and then send slowly a new line. And I mean, then it ends. Huh? Let's maybe expect some login. The prompt is differently, but just out of. So cool. So that works. The problem now would be how to further automate it actually. What is the... Okay, that is... why would the return code now not be non-zero? Is the last expect thing isn't there? What was the prompt? Was install. I mean, yeah, so this has scalability issues. I mean, it somewhat works. And this also, I mean, first of all, you could overthink that and I mean, sure. I mean, some issues I was aware of. There is too much random output, like found devices. Some things will be really annoying with the system, like partitioning, especially partitioning will be randomly slower with heavy disk I/O, especially if you don't run this in KVM and TCG, other architectures, and have also emulated SCSI I/O. And this does not even solve yet that we want to compare whether this was successful. Oh, this is also fully built apparently. So obviously we want to commit that. Yeah, we would need some return status and what is the right command name? Also expert. Interesting, because we named this expect, it has already the right syntax coloring. Shutdown H did I didn't sense this with new line. But yeah, it does exactly obviously what you tell it to. And I think the kernel should potentially print like power off something. Does it? Hello? I mean, the timeout thing we need to... is it all? Was there not some the system is halted stuff? Maybe this was actually quite long. I wonder if we hit this timeout. All right. So the question is, can we control the return value of the whole expect thing? And I mean, at least we could do some things. We could script test booting that. Although the irony is I said platform independence. Actually, it will be slightly different. Here's reboot. Yeah, you see there was a little bit more. So previously this timeout triggered, actually, as you see. So expecting that. So the question is, so other architectures will have other stuff. Okay, this is 0. This is of course not ideal, and we want to wait for that. I mean, this oops, was not the right thing to do. I mean, so far so good. This is actually quite testing. I mean, obviously testing quite some significant functionality, right? For this to work, not only QEMU, we mostly test also QEMU emulation, but QEMU emulation needs to work quite significantly stable well. So CPU, the storage subsystem and stuff, the BIOS, the firmware. The bootloader needs to work for all the architecture specific stuff. The kernel needs to fully work, and the user space, so init early user space, and then the first commands. Yeah, also this is testing. We had multiple times breakage, right? I mean, it's not testing everything. If we would have had some random, either broken or random output there, we wouldn't have that in there. But yeah, so we still need some surrounding stuff, unfortunately. But at least it's a proof of concept for something. Maybe leave in the comments below what you think. But at least, yeah, tests, certainly underused field of research and stuff. But with this template, I mean, as I said, so the getting started is always the most time consuming, finding all like send slowly or all the other tricks and escape stuff. And the only thing that irritates me now is, oops, shit. Of course, now we ruined the exit code. I mean, we could surroundingly diff this, but that is also not really the point of... Actually, I was hoping to run one tool and not surround this with another diff. But maybe that is unavoidable. Yeah, so we don't have an exit status. Here's something. Status of expected is returned as the exit status, so expect exit is implicitly end of the script is reached, cause expect to exit or otherwise prepare to do so. On exit, flag causes next argument to be used as an exit handler without an argument. The current exit handler is returned. Causes expect to prepare to exit but stop shortly of actually returning control to the operating system with a handler run as well on turn upon. So how does it work? Do we expect continue? Expect somehow so do we like exit? This is a bit unclear to me, to be honest. How do we, does someone know in the audience how we I slightly wonder why this is not the default behavior, but as you see, you can also more complexly group this stuff. Are timeout set result code? Okay, does it mean with this time? Okay, does it how this works? Exit okay, this is. Oh no, this is okay. This is actually a little bit annoying, to be honest. I use expect C set result and get. Okay, here it looks like they use some variable here. Okay, this is the default one, and how does it work? So this is breaking out of those. Maybe it works with timeout. Timeout abort. Is this a built-in function or what? That's also. Why is here not? The default timeout period is 10 seconds, but maybe set, for example, 30. An infinite value pattern default corresponds to either if a pattern is the keyword default from either timeout or end of file. Just like pattern, I want 3 ways by default pattern, something. Oh, wait a second, just when I closed it, I saw there was. Where was it? Note that abort is presumed to be a procedure defined elsewhere in the script. Okay, you need to define it yourself. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so I have some questions. Set timeout 20. Expect something. Timeout busy, put busy, failed abort, force what abort. Okay, so this is on timeout that. Okay, you can obviously relatively complexly script that. Yeah, so current is following timeout. Did we had any clever comments in the audience today? Further stuff of what they had here defined. So what? How did they call that? Abort, presumed to be a procedure. They call that. Do you simply, I wonder, can you simply put this in curly braces like exit 1? That should be set. Okay, apparently not. Maybe then set timeout 20 and timeout exit 1 maybe. Delete command name. Thank you very much. What did they had here? They had here, or whatever they had here, expect timeout abort. Abort is presumed. Pity that this doesn't instantly work like that. Maybe I should simply Google for expect timeout exit code. It's the same thing again, isn't it? So this is not the most helpful. Anyway, that's the idea. Leave in the comments below what you think. And they try this similar to us. That is somehow not the most helpful. Don't tell me I need for each expect thing a timeout. Expect timeout exit failed? What the heck? Expect, don't tell me. That would be really annoying if we need Paul says this timeout's going to be an issue across platforms. So we could have a default timeout that is long enough. You're saying like emulated SCSI stuff on Deck Alpha or stuff, I guess you mean. So it looks to me that, let's maybe try that. Expect, but I don't really want, this is a little bit much for me. Let's set the timeout for only 15 and here that was expect, no such file directory, stuff exit 3. So I think this was timeout exit. I mean, they have a new line, but I would hope I wouldn't need one. By the way, how does it work here? Expect, no such file directory. Okay, they have this here in one line. Let's see if that works in one line. But I would really prefer a default somewhere and not having to code that. And the last time it was shutting down in more than 15 seconds. Let's see. If we don't have the reboot message, then okay, so that should be echo. Ha! That works, amazing. Just the only problem is I would want to have this as a global default. Anyway, that's it for this video as usual, an hour-long stuff, usually long enough, of course. I hope you learned something. Leave in the comments below. This is, of course, just one part of the puzzle. Maybe not the best one, it's just like testing that. If you have better ideas, bugs, comments, patches, and stuff, leave in the comments below. Cool, amazing stuff. Thanks for the commits. I hope you enjoyed this and learned something. Don't forget sponsorship and stuff and subscribe. And hope to see you soon for more tap water to come.